My favourite kind of theatre, it's not every kind of theatre, and I've dearly loved theatre where this hasn't been the case, but my favourite kind of theatre is where I see actors bleed and sweat blood and look like they're having heart attacks and really go through the things that we don't want to have to go through in our own lives, because when we're going through them, they're an adventure. Adventures aren't always fun. Adventures are fun when you're watching somebody else go through them. You want to see people go through all the horrible things, the hard things, the terrible things, the beautiful things. And so you've got to try and dash yourself as much as you can without actually breaking yourself too much. You know?
Very similar to what James had said. It's the kind of thing where, you know, you think about it all morning and afternoon, and then you have a little bit of the fear. And then you have your warm-up and you kind of embrace it, you throw yourself into it, and the minute you're on, you forget about it. It's not about the pain, or it's not about hurting yourself.
I mean, part of that, Baz, is from the location, that we're here on Whitehall and only a few steps away from the centre of British politics, and I think genuinely that these are both political power plays. And I think that's, again, can be used as a kind of springboard for discussion, not just with our formal platform debates, but also just in rehearsal. I mean, it's amazing how much we've, you know, discussed kind of political regimes around the world, or just status games, even like in a kind of microcosm within one office, which can kind of amplify out and somehow reflect what's going on in North Korea. So it just gives you kind of a sense of being able to discuss, being able to kind of prompt imagination, and hopefully give audiences, rather than just coming to the theatre and have a jolly good night out, they kind of give, you know, there's a chance to really kind of discuss, debate, question what's happened and what's happening in the world outside the theatre's walls.
If I'm just talking to you, I'm talking to you. But if I'm talking to all of you, I'm talking to all of you. And if I'm just talking to a camera, then I don't need to be like that. But if I'm talking to 500 people in here, and some of them are over there and some of them are over there, then if you try to tell them a story, you're going to include them all. And I don't know, I think good acting's good acting, but technique is something that, you know, can be learned and you can assimilate. But it's all about it's not just about being truthful. I think a lot of people think acting is just about being truthful, and the camera or the audience are there just to help maybe capture it, maybe see it. But it's not, it's about storytelling, and if you try to tell a story to everybody, the technique will come out by accident almost, because you just do what you need to do.
Screen actors often come with, you know, amazing ideas that you can then pick and choose from already. But then that's no different to working with someone obviously like incredibly experienced on stage like Simon, who also has, you know, provides you with 100,000 choices.
At no point is there a negative in the room. There's never a no, and that just makes you feel, as a company, so supported and allowed to just go down so many different avenues and explore, and never feel like you're doing the wrong thing.
I've got quite a long preparation time before coming on, because there's this scene where people in England are talking for hours. No, it's great. But it's what people do in England. But no, I'm just mainly sub-stage crying. And then I had to go on and see what happens.
I think I speak for everybody when I say we were really surprised. We didn't realise that we were in the catchment, if you know what I mean. I thought we would all be in consideration for the following year, so it was a total surprise. We didn't even have an eye on the nominations. So that was a surprise. Yet again, the last time I got nominated for an Olivier, I was up against Mark Rylance, and I didn't win it because you can't beat him, because he's the best actor in the world. So that'll probably happen again this year. But it's just lovely to be nominated.